Oh, good morning. No? Yes? I can hear it. Maybe a little more heat? Yeah, good? All right. Yeah. Okay, gang, here we go. It's 9. We are ready, aren't we? We've thinned the herd a little bit, huh? No, I know.
The
It's,
money thing scares them.
the money, that's right. Let us not be afraid. All right, let's open with a prayer, and then we're going to dive in to the money enigma, huh? All right. Let's take a breath and just bring our full attention to the moment, being here right now, the blessing of this moment. As once again we consciously confer prosperity upon our gathering. I'm grateful for this morning, exactly the way that we are gathered. I know that something wonderful happens for each one of us, and it is a blessing. So as we explore together this morning, we throw our hearts open wide to receive the sacred blessing that is in store for us as we continue to expand, empower, and embolden that sacred prosperity consciousness living in God's substance. I'm grateful for this morning. I call it good, and so it is. Amen. Good to see y'all. General thoughts and ideas, anything. Well, that has to do with the class. Thank you, Mimi. Yeah, Jane.
I was preparing our vast substance for my CPA for the April 15th tax date to take to my CPA, and we're just so blessed with abundance, and there was all kinds of numbers, and this is the perfect class to be taken at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely. I agree. What else? Anything you're challenged by? Anything you're wrestling with? Inspired by?
Well, I actually had a little bit of doubt creep in this week.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, because I have my goal is to have my website finished. And so I actually got the 3 proposals from the developers this week.
Lovely.
And so the closer I get to my goal, I found it interesting anyway.
You confronted? Are you
Yeah.
with
Well,
what? What's the doubt?
in a way, it's money, but I have the money, so it's not the money, I want to say being recognized,
Seen?
yeah, because it's not what I'm used to. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
as much as I hate to say it. It's not like I'm more comfortable with not being included. That's what my old MO was, right? So I'm giving that up. And the other thing is, I recognized that I had a pattern of what would I call it? I don't want to say victim, but it's almost like the damsel in distress kind of thing. And I can't play both sides anymore. It's like I used to play both sides. Damsel in distress, single mom, hard, it's really blah, blah, blah. And then the successful business owner, professional, that person who I am. So I'm choosing. It's almost like one of them doesn't want to go away or doesn't want to be. It's like it's still a part of myself. So I'm having to kind of think about how to not negate that part of myself, but yet give it a different. I don't know.
Avenue
That's
of
the
expression.
challenge. Yeah, someplace to put her. Does that make sense?
Sure. I think being one of my prayers for a long time has been to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because what does it mean when you're uncomfortable? You're growing. When my daughter, her legs are growing, she's like, Mommy, Daddy, I need to, I want to press my legs again. It's growing pains, literally pains of growth. And so that's the physical, but in the spiritual and emotional, when we're uncomfortable, we have a wonderful growth opportunity. So may you be blessed with finding comfort in the spirit within you, like literally comforted from within as you grow and put yourself out there and continue to be confronted. It's a blessing. I invite you to see it as a blessing. And it is uncomfortable. And I don't like to be uncomfortable, but look, it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. So might as well play the game. Leslie,
I had a weekend of abundance. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I've been talking about art, and I had signed up for some art workshops. And so I went to Tustin to go to it. And I have this book on Audible. I listened to it all the way there and all the way back. Did my homework, conversations. I argued with, money. And it was amazing. I did art all weekend. I was with an artist. I was with other people struggling. My friend invited me to stay up on the big house in Lemon Heights. It was absolutely, I just let it come in instead.
Lovely.
And these little judgments, and I was watching these other people. There's always a couple, right? And the funny ones, the ones that were the most unhappy were the richest people if you looked at monetary value. And I thought, wow, I'm actually so blessed and so excited. And I got up this morning, the tennis thing's canceled, all this stuff. My husband goes, the market fell, and I went, only look at it if there's some opportunities. Otherwise, I don't want to hear about it.
That's right.
And ran out here and texted Denise my homework, and we had a conversation. So anyway,
Lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an internal discipline. Again, it's not necessarily denying what's happening because, things are happening and it's affecting the market and stuff, but you just don't play the game. Play a different game. Liz.
I just wanted to add what Linda was saying about, when you're uncomfortable with yourself and then the growth. When I first started coming down here, for 6 months, to take care of my parents, I used to always, on Sundays, sit over there, not talk to anybody, and go out that back door, okay? And then I started forcing myself to move closer and closer and closer, and then over there, and then now I sit over here on Sundays. And I always wanted to go to classes, always, and I just couldn't do it. And now I'm sitting right here, and I'm in this class. So I feel like I push myself into uncomfortable situations and to grow and to expand my horizons. So so that brought that up. I totally related that it's,
Yep.
And then another thing about money is the less I think about it, the more money comes to me, and I don't even know where it comes from. It's just like the unexpected income. I'm still giving to the church on that because I just can't believe the money that's coming in at just, different avenues, and sometimes I go like, where did that cash come from? And it's just, the less I think about it, it's just amazing, and it's just,
Love it.
yeah, me too.
If the cash fairy
I
comes in
do
the middle
like
of the
it,
night,
but I don't think about it.
put a couple 20s in your purse. That'll work. Was there another hand over here? No? Yeah, well, it's all over in this book and all sorts of prosperity teachings. If you get in alignment, it's not magic. It's just being in alignment with how the laws work. Then it comes out of the blue, out of nowhere, right? But it comes out of the God substance that we live within. Just being in right relationship with ourselves and with life. And it is a walk. It's it's a blessing to put ourselves, again, back to this comfortable, uncomfortable thing. I think in some ways even I'm like a recluse. It takes a certain something to get to do. It feeds me, but also I'm really good at being alone. Like I could hide in my apartment for weeks on end. And just do that, read, watch my favorite shows, not interact with anybody, and it's just lovely. But at the same time, there's, other stuff to be done. So let us continue to grow and change and push ourselves, you know? Yeah, that's good. Anybody want to share, give words to your conversation between your head and your heart? Anybody do that exercise? I hope you did it. You want to share? Liz, do you want to share?
Go ahead, let somebody else talk first. I didn't write it down.
So this was a conversation between your head and your heart about what again? What was the assignment? It was about
It's really about what your heart wants.
taking about risk. Right.
Okay, a risk my heart wants to take is moving. Oh, there's two things: moving to Hawaii and spending my money on the new website.
Those are the risks. Those
Yep.
two risks. Cool.
I want to take 2 suitcases, my jewelry and art, and maybe even leave the car behind. I'd like to live there for 1 year and see if I like it. I have dreamed about it for a long time. I have also dreamed about having a new website where people buy my jewelry and art. I would like to see it and experience it happening. It's such a wonderful feeling of accomplishment. I would like to live in a beautiful place where there are waterfalls, sunsets, kind people, lots of world-class shopping nearby. I really miss the shopping.
Shopping.
What if you want to? Okay, here's the
The friction.
What if you want to come back to the mainland? How will you have enough money to get back? What if Tony does not do well there, my son? What if it's too expensive and you cannot pay all the costs to rent, shop for groceries, and all that's needed? What if it's boring and no place to go out at night to dance? What if my daughter Lauren needs me and she is so far away from me? What if the medical is no good and I get sick? What if it's not as cool as it seems like it would be to live there? What if I just could take a vacation? I think vacations are boring. Just going back to home. Then you just go back home again? Why is it just too far out of reach? Why can't I just buy one-way ticket? This goes back to the heart. Yeah, can't I just buy a one-way ticket and plan from there? It's okay to live my life the way I want to.
Lovely. What did you notice? What 2 words did she say when her head was? She said 2 words over and over again at the start of each. What if? Killer. The killer of dreams. Unless you look at it from an affirmative standpoint, but all that was what if things go wrong, right? I mean, how often do we do that? That's such a common, I want to do this, but what if? Yeah, killer. Your seat is now free for you. The audacity. Liz, that's right. You made it.
My heart and my mind, I go back and forth, staying here with my mother and my father, helping them at the time that they need me, and then being with my husband and my grandkids and my kids in Northern California. So sometimes it's my heart that says to stay, sometimes it's my mind that says to stay, and then, vice versa. So I go back and forth, but I don't do the what if. I don't dwell on it. I think about it occasionally, but I know I need to be here. But I also know that my husband misses me and my cats and my grandkids. But in most of life, usually your parents go before you. Not always, but hopefully my husband will be, and my kids, my grandkids. So I know I'll stay here. So he'll come down to see me. But I still go back and forth in that from the heart and the mind. But there's no what ifs. I just wherever I feel, and this is like my second home here, which I know most of you know that. So I don't have this in Northern California either. So I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have this church. So I am here.
Dig it. Cool. Be here. Anybody else?
I think one of the hardest things to do in life is to stay balanced. You know, just to stay balanced, and then we can move on and try and grow and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on. Cool. Yeah. Hi.
I make jewelry and sometimes sell it. And my risk is selling the jewelry because I love to make it, but I hate going out and selling it. And
You mean the actively like
yeah, trying to get sales.
doing the sales thing. Yeah.
And for a while I had a website, but that got to be too expensive. And then I've never gone to a store and said, "Do you want to buy my stuff?" Because it just scares the heck out of me. And I think the battle I have is, oh, my stuff's not original enough. It's nobody will want it. I'll get rejected. Blah blah blah. And then the other side of me says, well, just work at the creativity of making it, and it'll come. It'll blossom, and maybe the originality will come out, and then people will want to buy it. And it's kind of like, what do I have to lose?
Yep.
I don't have anything to lose.
Nothing.
I only have something to gain. So.
Because nobody's buying it anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what? If you're good at. Well, no, I mean, if she's not, nobody's. You've lost, or not lost, but you're getting to be creative. But if you just make it, and then the other side of that is you're not giving people the opportunity to buy it. There was this, huh? Yeah, I mean, there's someone out there that's going to love your jewelry. Has to be, maybe a billion of them. I hear that. We went to the, what's the festival that happened a few weeks ago? The Date Festival, which isn't, I mean, it's a carnival. We thought there were going to be dates flying all over the place. There are dates in one little room. Right? And I'm like, I thought they were going to just date toss and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, it's a fair, right? But we went there, and there was one, there are people selling their wares, their goods. And one guy was selling coolers that he made. And there were sports teams themed coolers, but they were so versatile. And I bought one. I bought a Seahawks cooler because this guy was an extraordinary salesman. You know why? He loved his product. He loved it. And he was so articulate and wonderful in describing it. It's like it wasn't even like it wasn't selling. It's just like, this is how awesome this cooler is. And he had so much pride in it. And I was like, and Julia and I were walking away, and it was like, that guy was awesome. He knows his product. He loves it. It was just easy to buy from him. So, and I'm grateful. It's an awesome cooler. It's a chair. It's a cooler. It's it's all sorts of stuff. It fits a whole bunch of stuff. It's easy to carry. It's just great. So I would encourage you to look at it as an opportunity for people to have your stuff and love it. So yeah, let's always be looking for opportunities, right, to express ourselves. Because it sounds like the expression part is there. And then it's just circulating, it's sharing. I mean, how many products are on the market that we go like, thank God somebody did this. Somebody invented it. Somebody took the risk, right? I mean, I think last week we talked about, the 1 Minute Millionaire, books and things like that, where people, distill down millionaire consciousness and hey, you can have it too in 1 minute, but they don't talk about the process and the risks that we're taking and entrepreneurship and all this kind of thing, right? Thank goodness that folks labored over something and thought of it and took that idea, and we looked at it much more this week that the universe's currency is ideas. How many, like a chair? Thank God. I need to take the load off. What am I going to do? Oh, let me create something to sit on, or it started as a stump in nature, whatever it is. Yeah, or a couch or a hammock, or a pool chair or a pool. All of these things ideas. Everything always is born twice, created twice. First as an idea, and then secondly in form. Always. Idea and then form. Yeah, Mimi.
Well, talking about ideas. One day we were out on our patio and looking at our barbecue, and it was really, really dirty. So it came back in. My husband came back in the house, and he started looking to see if there was anybody who cleaned barbecues. There wasn't. Not one person in Palm Desert for all these elderly people who can't really get out there and scrub. I'm talking barbecue, built-in barbecues, right? So my husband found a place in Florida, a franchise kind of thing, and called the guy. The guy flew out to us, showed us how to do the cleaning barbecues, right?
Wow.
And my husband is really, really good in marketing. Really good in marketing. And so he hired a crew and general manager. We have so far done over 6,000 cleaning barbecues.
Yo!
It takes about 3 hours to do it, and it costs it's not cheap, it's like $350. But it takes a long time to do it. They take all the parts out, put them in a heater. Yeah.
Lovely.
That was an idea.
Believable, Liz. Believable. There, right? It's theirs. Yeah. The Valley. Love it. Yep. Anybody else want to share? Or see a need and fill it, or just sing your song. Because remember how we talked about a few weeks ago? I mean, what if somebody said, oh, there's already so many songs made, I don't need to sing my song. And then we wouldn't get that next great piece of music. That next something that's born out of somebody because they have to sing. They have to make music. Thank God we keep making music because it's awesome, right? So again, it's the ultimate need, Jane, is what? For us to express. That's the need, and that's why it says, God bless you. No. I'm not playing the game. And we're going to get to it in a little bit, but we're going to get to it now because it's on my mind. When you seem to be out of money, what do you pray for? An idea. Money. Which is always secondary as well. But pray for money. That's the need. Let's cut through the BS, all right? It's money I need. And for faith, for an idea to know that I live what? In God substance. So there'll be another idea to create money, or the cash fairy will show up in the middle of the night and put $100 in your purse. Right? Out of nowhere. Wouldn't that be great? Why can't it be? Yeah, Linda. Oh, this is fun. I love Monday mornings. Please, yeah, Linda, maybe. Yeah, thank you. I can't believe for a second you were coming up to give me that thing.
So
It's your microphone.
one of my things on my action list was to interview bankers. And when I was meeting with my coach, what do you call it? Career coach, or anyway, he said to me, "Now I want you to interview, don't choose the first one," he said, and meet with 3 or 4 different ones. And I thought to myself, well, I was thinking that, well, I would feel really lucky if any of them would work with me. But yet he was saying, no, you have to be choosy. You get to choose because they're all going to want to work with you. And I'm like, okay. So I met with one banker this week, and it turns out she introduced me to the buyer, or she's putting me together with the buyer for the gift shops at Eisenhower Hospital and Betty Ford, because they're remodeling and they're up-leveling their product line. And they're having a grand opening in April. Not only that, but then they said, I think you should go to El Paseo Jewelry. And I said, well, I've been there, and they don't carry silver. She said, but we know them. And I said, okay. So maybe another door.
Yeah, maybe they'll start carrying silver. Opportunities. All right, ready to get into it? Okay, so he started this chapter with that study from the University of Michigan. What do people worry most about?
Money.
Yeah, money.
The song.
People worry most about money. What makes people happiest? And what makes people unhappiest? Money. Right? It's and again, it's a study. It's a sample. If I look over the course of my life, I would say the thing that I worry most about has been money. That I've worried most about at the end of the day, or and I think more, and especially when my daughter came along, I'm a lot better with it now. But 6-7 years ago, it was like, oh my God, now I actually, the game changer of now I'm really responsible to another human being. Oh my God, eye opener. So, when I was preparing for this lesson, even the word money, if you say a word or look at it so much, it just makes it a word. Like all of the stuff that's attached to it goes away. Have you ever had that experience? Try it sometime. Like read money, say money like 100 times, and and then it just becomes a word. Even the spelling of it looks funny. M-O-N-E-Y, isn't it? It's money, money. It's an interesting looking word. But it like devalues it. For me, this was it devalued it down to it just being a word. Money. Money. It's funny. Funny money. But then, I guess what I'm saying is, I got to a point where I had broken it down so far that there wasn't any meaning attached to it. Now I can attach meaning to it. Catch what I'm saying? Like you break it down so far that it's all the history, all the stuff, whatever stigma isn't there anymore. It's just a word. Now what? Well, now I can build some sort of, like I can choose the consciousness I want to build around the word. Following me? The love of money. This is the scripture when it was, that money is the root of all evil, how it's misquoted all the time when it says the love of money in and of itself is the root of all evil. Making that the end game. The right attitude toward money is the root of all kinds of prosperity. I love that. The right attitude towards money is the root of all kinds of prosperity. What is a right attitude toward money? Money. Yes, Maureen. Being creative. Having an idea. A tool to help you express. A vision? A vision of who you are? Mm-hmm. What does he call it in the book? What is money? We're actually going to get to it right here. Except this is from the science of mind. Money, the symbol of God's substance, the idea of spiritual supply, objectified. As God is spirit and man is God's creation, man, woman, people. Ernest Holmes was old school in his use of language, or current school, but now it's old school. And man is God's creation. Spirit is woman's substance, but spirit is all. So money is an expression of substance, which is in lockstep with Eric Butterworth, yes? In fact, I would probably say that Eric Butterworth studied Ernest Holmes. Yep, substance. Eric Butterworth calls it an enabler. Money's an enabler. It enables us to buy things, care for ourselves, put shelter over our head. But money in and of itself it's secondary. Do you see that it's secondary? It does give us choices, absolutely, which is a beautiful thing. It enables us to choose where you want to go on vacation. Do you want to buy this pair of shoes or that pair of shoes or both pairs of shoes? In Hawaii, on a shopping spree. Oh, and I can tell you why we went to Hawaii, for a vacation once, and I was like, we spent that much money on food? Oh my God. But thank God, we got to. It enabled us to have pokey every day, and yummy, good, fun stuff. It's an enabler. But in and of itself, it's not cause. Cause is back of money. Cause is your awareness about money. Cause is the idea. The idea to work where you work now. The idea to create jewelry. The idea to take this job, not take that job. That's the cause. Are you with me on that? Money's secondary. After, always. And it explored through this chapter that, well, we're going to get to it here in a little bit. I'm not sure well, anyway, we'll see. Webster's defines enigma, the money enigma, as a puzzling or inexplicable situation. For many people, this is what it represents. Like it's, again, because a lot of us aren't in right relationship with it, what it is. See, the person, the rich person, and I always go back to the principle of having it all. I want to have it all. Fulfillment, the capacity to make more choices, all of those types of things. But if money is the end game, then what? Once you have all this money, then what? Then what? Yeah, but if you're not in a right relationship with life, who cares if you have all that money? And if you're in a right relationship with life, money will it's putting the puzzle together. If you're in a right relationship with life, that's attractive. Ideas and things, to be open to them. And what is right relationship? It's just understanding how the laws work, universal laws and principles, and being in relationship with them, and then choosing to dance that dance. But that's why we hear so much, all the money in the world. It's like, Bezos or Bill Gates or whatever. It's like they have no thought for money, is my guess. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want to, at any point in time. But what does Amazon keep doing? Yeah, they keep innovating. Or else what? You want to die with worth, whatever, 100 billion, 150 billion. They keep innovating. What does Microsoft do? Like all these companies, they keep innovating. They keep thinking, what's the next idea? Let's get a group think together. How can we make this better? How can we serve more, etc.? And what happens? There's not a life on the planet. Well, not very many lives on the planet that aren't touched by these companies, somehow. It's wild to think about, isn't it? So Bezos and his team, they just keep, what's next? What's next? It's a great question to ask ourselves, too. What's next? That growth, and how many things, has Amazon failed at anything? Yeah, they have. Yeah. Amazon food, whatever restaurant, yeah, that's weird, something's going on. There are plenty of stories of things that they've tried to do that, nope, hasn't worked. Restaurants and some other things like that. So, but they're constantly like, well, let's give it a try. Let's take this spaghetti and throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Are there things that Microsoft, and they've done that haven't worked? Absolutely. But they keep thinking. And more often than not, they work, and they're incredibly successful, right? But again, it goes back to that pushing the envelope. And when something doesn't work, I would imagine, I don't know, but being in the human condition, if something doesn't work, no matter how rich you are or successful you are, especially being in the public eye, I would imagine from time to time Gates and Bezos had feelings of, ooh, that, not only did it not work, but billions of people are saying, what the hell was that idea? That probably, doesn't feel real good. But then what? Pick yourself up. What's next? What's next? Right? Mimi, did you? Will you put the microphone to your mouth? Thank you.
I'm going to give an example of McDonald's. Remember when McDonald's started breakfasts? Nobody thought that was going to work. And look at it today.
Mm. And on the other side of that, look at Coke. What did they do 30 years ago, whenever it was? What did they come out with? New Coke. People didn't like New Coke. I want Coke the way it's supposed to be. It's the game. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Leslie has her hand.
Bill Gates, who I just think is amazing. I don't know if anybody knows this, but you can follow him on, I don't know, I do it through Facebook, but he literally, he reads so many books. And he posts his notes. And it's so amazing. You get, and there's also that special on
The
Netflix.
documentary on him, right?
And one of the things that he talked about, they were asking, well, what do you do? He goes, well, I don't mow the lawn. But you know what? I read books on fertilizer because I don't know, I'm always looking for the next idea, and then I can turn it over to the team and expand it. And so if you need some inspiration, it's absolutely amazing to see a moment in that man's mind.
Yeah,
so
love it. Thank you.
And always giving.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that you said, and always giving. Yeah. I mean, look, they have so much money that there's a massive building downtown Seattle that is designated for what? Giving the money away. for just look, I mean, it's a huge headquarters for what? The Gates Foundation. And all they're up to in there is looking for ways to give the money away. It's so rad. And again, it's ideas, right? And what happens? What does that do? It draws unto itself as well. Yeah, and just the whole idea about circulation. It's the law of circulation. And again, I love that you said fertilizer, or, look to nature. Nature circulates. How does it do it? The tree grows, has its lifespan, and dies, falls to the forest floor, and then what? It feeds the next thing. Circulation. It came to pass, right? It's just, you know what we have to do, gang? We have to get the hell out of our own way. That's what we have to do. The tree doesn't at some point become self-aware and think, I'm treeing too much. Let me stop, shrink or go backward. It's just, I'm treeing. Right? Climb me, use my branches, whatever. There's a great children's book. Oh, man, who wrote it? The Giving Tree. What's his name? I don't know. But anyway, it's this beautiful book about... That's it. Yep. But again, just circulation, look to nature, treeing, bushing, whatever, the sun. It's not bashful. It's just, and then you can position yourself in whatever you want to it, right? Sit out next to the pool or get in the shade or put your sunscreen on, whatever you want. But the sun's just, what is it doing? Shining, especially here. I love it. Oh, man, I went back to Seattle. It's 39 and raining. Yuck. Oh, my God. Why would anybody want to live there? What's that? Most of my life. I mean, total 40 years. But I used to be 42. 40 as well. But it always was like, and this is another thing too, though, like another kind of parallel or analogy or whatever, but whatever the right word is. But I always knew, like I had this, there are places in the world where the sun is shining more often than not. I want to live there. Way more often than not in some cases, though it's been kind of raining a little bit here lately, huh? And there's more coming tonight. Same thing with prosperity. There's a way to live life where that includes fulfillment and plenty. Why not live there, right? We've got to get out of, get out of our own way. And know that we can. That's being in right relationship, not right versus wrong, but right as in aligned. Right relationship with life. Which is why we're all here, right? To explore that and to work on practicing it, to get uncomfortable. You know what's cool, too, about getting uncomfortable is tell somebody you're about to get uncomfortable. I'm going for this idea. It's empowering when you have a community behind you, right? You can do it, go for it. It's like a coach on a team or a parent with their kid. I know you're afraid to get back on that bike, babe, but Daddy's right here. You can do it. I know you can. Or when when I think that's one of the reasons my daughter is a little more comfortable after, the initial couple minutes of going into unknown situations. Because since she was just tiny, Daddy's right here, babe. I know you're scared, but do it anyway. You can do it. And she'd always say, Daddy, I'm scared. I know, babe. It's all right. Daddy's right here. Do it anyway. It's like this presence of the Spirit. If we get out of our own way and we listen, it's saying that. I know you're scared, Charles. Just get out. I'm right here. God, Daddy's right here. Mommy's right here. The divine mother, father presence, right? It's right. I'm right here. I'm with you. And we can do that with each other. I know you're coming out of your comfort zone. Go for it. Do it. I know you can do it. And so what happens when my daughter falls off the bike? Who's right there? Daddy, give her a hug. It's okay, babe. You're learning. We're growing. What are we going to do now? Let's get back on the bike, right? And we can do that for each other to keep growing. What's next? What's next? And that's why, like you said, Bill Gates has an idea and then, okay, give it off to the team for development. Do you have a team? I hope you have a team. I have a team. When I'm up against it, who's my team? Like who can I call? I'm up against it. I'm freaking out, I hope all of us have a team for everything. Health. You get a practitioner on your team. You get your family on your team. It doesn't need to be a big team, just a few people that can get ferocious with you, that can dive in with you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a team, get yourself a team. People that you trust, that'll tell you the truth, that'll kick you in the butt when you need it, and it's done with love, Right? Money is not real wealth at all. Rather, it is a device for measuring wealth. It's semantics, I get it, But yeah, again, it's just back to... But I'm just saying that most people think wealth is money. Is money, that's right. That's not specifically necessarily, absolutely. I mean, who in here feels wealthy because you got a healthy body temple? Like if you checked in like, God, I'm healthy today. Woo! Yes! Right? Or for the person... Grass. Or for the person that's in the process of making their transition, that's healthy too. As it's been said, time to lay down the mortal coil and move on to the next great expression when it's time. Hey, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. So wealth is health, right? Creative expression, healthy relationships. What did I just do? Right? Like look around and going, wow, I have a lot of people that I love in my life. This is cool. Fulfilled, joyful. I'm telling you, it might sound funny, but more and more often since I got here, I hear the birds' songs. They just sing, and I'm so grateful that right now in my life, I have ears to hear them. And it is so magnificent. I mean, and it's the most natural, and they're just, right? And it's this concert of nature, of beauty, and they have a song, and there's a rhythm to it and a pattern, and sometimes I hear these things these aren't regular crows that are down here, are they? Are they ravens? They're massive. Or they're all on steroids or whatever it is, I don't know. But hearing them, they kind of like talk to each other too, like they're singing their songs, and it's...
Thank the birds when they're singing a song, like sometimes the mockingbirds, I go, oh, that's so pretty. They keep going.
Yep. Yeah. So again, the idea is financial wealth is simply secondary to life meeting your creative expression, your ideas, getting out of our own way, or getting in alignment with our way and expressing. We talked about this a little bit already. Money is an enabling symbol. It enables us to provide for ourselves. Is it here? I want to go to this. Remember in the chapter when he talks about the dollar or a bill, and you look at the front side of the bill, and I think money's different now than it was then.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, no, well, because it's 40 years ago. Money's yeah. So we've added some tints and some colors and things, but exactly. So on the one side, you've got the number, the symbol, what it represents on the piece of paper, and the other side, what does he say? Put it green side up, right? And in God we trust. And he keeps saying, put it green side up. In God we trust. What are we trusting in? Like the whole idea of money as an enabling symbol is, it says it right there on it. For whatever reason they decided to put in God we trust on it, we can say, this is a representation, and I'm circulating infinite substance. In God I trust. Cool exercise. Even if you're doing a credit card, however you're, and so much is electronic nowadays. I'll Venmo you. Anybody use Venmo? You just send money. You don't even see it. You just check the bank balance. All good. Venmo you. But when you do that, in God I trust. Bill pay online. In God I trust. Tithe check. In God I trust. Check. I haven't written a check in like 5 years. Anyway, it's so. But what is it? He also calls it a C word. Currency. And circulation, certainly. Currency, which is it's a current, an energy flow that we participate in. It's currency, right? We call it currency. Current. Catch that? Yeah, it's again, it's what's that? Flow. It's how am I in relationship with it? What's my perception of it? Currency, flow, energy, ideas. Leslie.
So,
just 1 second. Wait for Mimi, please. This is from Denise.
oh, she had to go to LA because her neck was bothering her. But anyway, we were talking about the money, and she wrote this to me, and I thought it was so good, so I asked if it was okay to read it.
Sure.
Money being the root of all evil, because so many of us heard this cliche growing up, it blocks so many from success in our financial worlds. We turn money into positive and note what is printed on it, and God we trust. So how could money be evil if this is what's printed on it?
Amen. Yeah.
So I wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah, that's great. And again, what is it then? It's a relationship with it. It's how we position ourselves with it. So, there's and he explores this as well, Are you pissed off that you have to pay your bills? Or you're like, woo, I have electricity this month. Yeah, thank you. Right? No, there you go, yeah. Yeah, no, it's all good. Plenty of people still do. Yeah. Jane.
On all my checks, I've taken a class similar to this. Under my signature, I write, because I do write checks, TYG, which means thank you, God. Every time I write or spend money, and I've never earned money, I attract abundance, is what somebody said to me. And as my husband worked and his career built, I'm the one that found ways to help it grow so that we could have a nice retirement. And I didn't earn any of it, but he knows that what I learned and what I shared with him has created what we have here. We have a son who has needs, and we were able to buy him a condo so he can be safe. And we bought this condo just because we can, and life's good.
Love it.
And I didn't do it. God did.
Yeah, amen. In relationship with it. Money is good. Money is God in action. Let's say that together, shall we? Money is good. Money is God in action. It's good. It's a blessing. And it's used as a blessing all over the place. Now, we can probably find plenty of examples where it's used for not such a blessing, but let us in this room be in right relationship with it. That we're aware of what a blessing it is. That when we circulate it, we confer prosperity upon wherever we're circulating. And when we receive it, prosperity is conferred upon us more and more. This means I'm clear in my understanding that God is my source, life, Life is our source, divine spiritual substance, and I am free in allowing money to flow to me, through me, and out into the world. You don't have to feel guilty about money. Feel free about money. Yeah? Freedom. That it's good, that it's a blessing. It's a good thing. If you think positively and creatively about money, you multiply its effectiveness. If you criticize and depreciate it, you actually tend to dissipate it and repel it from you. So again, are you upset about where you have to circulate it? Are you upset when you have to spend $300 on some new brake pads? Or is it like, which I did recently, kind of out of nowhere, but wow, I got a safe car now. It's safer than it was yesterday. Thank you. Right? I'm grateful. Would I prefer to not spend $300 on brakes and put it somewhere else? Probably. But thank God I've got $300 to spend on some new brakes, Think positively and creatively about money. You multiply its effectiveness and attraction and attract it. If you criticize and depreciate it, you actually tend to dissipate it and repel it from you. In God we trust, turn the money to the green side. Keep your identity with money as a symbol of limitless God substance, life substance. What relationship are you in with money? We touched on this already too. What do you do when you're out of money? You pray for money, Maureen. What I really need here is money, okay? For faith, for the creative flow of ideas, to know that you're going to be taken care of. Because what? Daddy's right here. God's right here. I'm with you. Mommy's right here. You're held. You're safe. Everything's going to be just fine. You are never further than one idea away from all the wealth in the universe. That's a powerful statement. It's a big one. All the wealth in the universe? Again, it comes back to a definition of wealth as well. What is that? You know what the universe is never lacking? Well, anything, but just plain old fulfillment. I love that word. As distinct from fulfillment. Fulfillment. That it's happy with itself. It's fulfilled. It's at peace. Again, that's personifying it, but the rich, huh?
It's a really great place to step into.
Yeah, you can. It's on your face right now.
I step into it.
It's a great place. Linda's saying it's a great place to step into, that right relationship with it. Yeah. And when you're in that faith, are you concerned about being uncomfortable?
You're in the whole happiness thing.
Yeah, look at you. I wish I had a mirror right now. Look, like that's the attitude that goes before you into your endeavors. Like, I'm putting myself out there because I'm treeing. You're pearling. Yeah, I'm treeing. I amming. I'm amming. The rich and wealthy didn't set out to make money at all. They captured an idea. Huh? Amazon, what's the idea? What did he start doing? What did he start with? Selling books out of his garage. That's where it started. Books out of your garage. Hey, now that we've got this internet thing, people can just, get online and order a book and I'll ship it to them. And now, Amazon's conquered the world. Ideas are the flowing forth into the mind, there's an extra of in there. Ideas are the flowing forth into mind, the wealth of the universe. We'll just keep moving on. The flowing forth of ideas into your mind, of the wealth of the universe. Fulfillment. What are you worthy of instead of what are you worth? Remember when the guy went to he's talking about the banker. He went to the bank to get a loan. And this one banker would always examine the person's character before their collateral to see what they're worthy, if they're worthy of the loan. Not do they have not am I insured they're going to pay it back by some means of collateral, but They've got the stick-to-itiveness, the perseverance, the willingness to really go for it, to really champion their idea, to champion their jewelry. I am an individualized expression of the infinite flow of substance. Individualized expression of the infinite flow of substance, right where you are. You catch that? Take a deep breath and close your eyes for a minute, would you? I am an individualized expression of the infinite flow of substance. Just be in that for a moment. You are a star that is shining. A tree that is treeing. The sun bursting forth, radiating light. It's each one of us. Feel into that. Breathe into that. The most fundamental thing we can do to stay alive. Breathe into that. I am an individualized expression of the infinite flow of substance. Doesn't that feel good? And that awareness, it's home. Make that home. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. I say we make that home. Did you go there? I did. Yeah, cool. Yeah. There's a meditation I used to do where I would start here, in the world with all of its noise and all of its busyness and people going to and fro. And I would slowly just elevate off of the planet in my mind and get further and further away from the noise and the people and the worries and the cares and the concerns until I was way out here looking at the planet. And from way out here, it's peace. It's quiet. It's whole. It's perfect. And to bring that awareness into this moment. There's a movie that really captures that. You remember the movie, a scene in a movie. Do you remember the movie, whoa, that was short circuit. Contact? Yes. Yeah. Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. It's from, 20 years ago, something like that. Beautiful movie. But at the beginning, it's it actually is that meditation. There's all this noise and I think radio chatter and this and that, and the camera just gets further and further away from the planet and then just way out into the middle of the universe. It's an awesome scene, powerful. And then it's just quiet, right? It's quiet. That's that internal, I think it was Joel Goldsmith, what did he call it? The thunder of silence. I am an individualized expression of the infinite flow of substance. Currency, a movement of the divine flow, ride the current, et cetera, et cetera. That's it. Thoughts, questions? Holly, will you? Yep. Good morning.
Hi. I don't recall where I read this, but a phrase that just hit me like thunder was, I was born abundant. Sometimes I have a cash flow problem. And I think about that. Abundance is my essential nature.
Yeah.
Abundance is eternal. Cash flow problems are temporary.
Yes.
They come to pass. And it's the creativity and everything else that we've talked about that deals with the cash flow issues. And so if I start getting, feeling short of breath about, whatever, with the cash flow the stuff, it's no, I am born abundant. I am abundant. This will resolve.
Love it.
So.
Yep. But abundance is. Yep. Love it. Any other insights or sharings? Cool. Let's take a break. Let's do it until 10:20. You want 20 minutes? Is there some snacks out there, I think? Cup of Joe? Cup of Joe. All right, 10:20, and then we'll get into our small groups. Good stuff, gang. Groups. Make sure and thank Liz. She brought some snacks. She has ascended into heaven. Holly's your new best friend? You have a new best friend? She has a new best friend. Oh, that's great. What'd you say, Brad? Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, small groups. Here are your questions. Take an inventory of all your references to money, and what that means is, how do you refer to money when you're spending it, or like I'm talking like all of it across the board. You know, are you upset that you don't have enough? Are you upset when you have to pay your bills? Do you love paying your bills? You know, like those types of things. Just as much inventory as you can about how you refer to money over the course of your life right now. You love spending it in certain ways. You don't love spending it in certain ways. You have lots of places where money comes in from. You want more places where money comes in, and you're on it about it, et cetera. Just kind of take a general inventory. Cool? What are all the ways you're blessed by money? All the ways, as many as you can think of. How are you blessed by money? And write a paragraph or two describing your ideal relationship with money. Your ideal. We're growing ourselves. We're continuing to grow ourselves into something. Your ideal relationship with money. Consciousness builder. Cool? So we'll take some time. Your small group facilitators can facilitate that. We gave you love for the snacks, by the way, when you weren't here. Yeah. Thank you. Facilitate your time. Well, just do what you do. And let's say we'll start with, I'll check back with you in about 45 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. We have plenty of time if we need more. Groovy? Enjoy. And again, we want to have the small groups as balanced as possible. So if there's a lot more in one group, can we split up and make the numbers as even as possible? Enjoy. And I'll see you in a few minutes. Have fun. Okay, gang, we're going to bring it back together. Efficiency. Come forth, please. You're here. So it sounded like in one of the groups they were verbally doing the paragraph or two, and then one of the groups, Brad was encouraging you to do it. I encourage, yeah. Well, anyway, that's part of it. I encourage you to do it. I didn't need to stop this process, but if everybody's in good shape, then we're in good shape. I was just checking in. Yeah, okay. So I would encourage you to do that, though. What is your ideal relationship with money? What do you want it to be? You know, to actually take some time and vision into that, you know, see into it, feel into it, be with it. Any feedback from your groups? Thoughts? Brad? Yeah, we're going to do the microphone there. Thank you.
From being in a zillion small group, but I think in years, the small group I'm in, whoever, those of us that show up in the group I'm in, every week I'm expanded of thinking about a topic or something broader every week, and I'm so thankful for that. Sometimes it'll be in a class, you know, half the small groups you're in the classroom, but this is like every week there's, wow, and I go, wow, and maybe the first couple of weeks I would say, how come I didn't think of that, or something. Now it's like, thank you, God. I'm just thankful that I'm in a space to have attracted that to me of a little more expansion to my thing is always, how can I have a deeper, full expression of my oneness with God? That's it. How can I have that and feel that and know that and believe that more than it did an hour ago?
Yep. Love it. Well, yeah, and the word that keeps coming to me while you're talking is willingness. You're willing. You're a willing student of life, right? You're willing to be grown and to entertain ideas. Wouldn't the world be, we could use more of that right now. Just a willingness to listen to each other, you know, and a willingness to listen to each other and share authentically, right? And just really, you know, when was the last time you were willing to have your mind changed? When you're willing to be talked into something, just a willingness. Taking in information, and then you can choose what to do with it. But how often do we just go into any situation? This is who I am. It's the way it is. It's the way it's going to be. If our identity can be... What's that? Or this is the way I want you to be. Exactly. You know, that we've already figured people out. You know, that they... Do we give permission to other people to be alive? That's to be alive and dynamic, right?
So in ministerial school, when I started like a little over a year and a half ago, I remember the first class I was at, and the teacher, who I'd already had a good connection with over a couple of phone calls, and I said something, and he goes, you know, I kind of, he didn't say I disagree with you, but it was something like, I don't go that way, but you know, I'm going to be open to that. Mm-hmm. I've heard him talk a million words since then, but that key point of hearing someone who I have chosen to be my lead minister in my ministerial training to say, you know, but I'm going to be open. I'm going to relook at that. Huge. Yeah. You can tell, you can feel my feeling of all this time ago and dozens of classes later, that one key point of someone in a
Great.
position who's done a lot with this philosophy, being a minister for almost 20 years, active, saying, I'm going to be open to looking at that. That was huge for
Yep,
me. And it's a
absolutely.
great example. So,
Yeah.
But thank you for recognizing my willingness.
Absolutely. And then we can choose to be changed or not. Yeah, but at least it's just a willingness. Absolutely. Any other ideas, feedback, insights? Reverend Ruth Ann.
It's amazing how exciting I get, right, in this kind of atmosphere. The book is so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The last chapter I thought was fabulous. This chapter was even better, and it just keeps going like that. The groups are amazing. I mean, the community that we have and the various associations, the connections, I see the same similarity in myself. And in result, I'm getting to know me better.
Yes. It's great.
It's like peeling the onion, but it's not painful. I'm not crying. I'm laughing.
Dig it.
And if it seemed wrong at one time, now it's just funny.
Dig it.
Yeah,
Freedom.
Just funny.
Yeah. Hold it all lightly. A lightness of being.
Sorry.
There you go. No one takes Mimi's job. That's right. Yeah, that's what the lightness of being, huh? Just life is such a wild and dynamic ride anyway. I think it's great to take it lightly as much as we can, right? Anybody else? Holly.
I'll say, I'm along with Brad, these have been some of the most productive is not the right word, but expansive types of small group that I've ever been in. And if I had to point to one thing, I would say it's the question. It's not just one thing, but the questions that we have to address are really such purposeful questions, and they make me think. And I love to think, but they really get in deep. And I want to thank the people in my group who are open and willing to share. And
Yeah.
there's no posing, and especially around money, it's so easy for people to pose.
Yep.
And there's just an honesty of sharing and willingness to be open and vulnerable. I just really thank you and thank the people in here on how open they are, because it's been incredibly helpful.
Lovely.
For me, and I
Cool.
think for others.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. And it's cool to have the exact same experience up here too, with all of you. Absolutely. I love being grown also. It's cool. Again, that's the circulation as well. Let in every situation, let me be a student, and if I can, contribute something as well. Right? Yeah, it's great. Anybody else? Linda. Mimi's on her way.
So I just thought it was interesting. When we started out today, money was just a word. And now we're in a relationship with money. And so when I think about that in terms of relationship, what will I contribute to the relationship? And what does money contribute to the relationship? And so it turns out, a little bit to be an exploration and a discussion back and forth to see, what's involved here. And I find that to be intriguing, a place where I think I might want to spend more thought.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Mimi? No, I'm not touching that thing. Thank you. That's right. That's right. Anybody else? We're all set? Efficient class this morning, gang. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Reverend Ruth Ann, will you give us a closing blessing? Thank you.
Sorry, I'm so. I'm used to doing prayers with this thing.
Yeah. Oh, good. We want it. We want it recorded.
Oh, so we're just in a beautiful place right now, right? A place that is in such harmony and such love and peace and well-being, and we are truly blessed. We are so grateful. Just amazing, amazing how life unfolds for us, and that we are at the right and perfect place at the right and perfect time with the right and perfect people. And that brings great joy to me. It makes my day, it makes my week, it makes my life. And I just say thank you. Thank you for this amazing experience that I continue to know for each and every one of us as we move through our journey. And in that blessing, I release this, knowing it is our truth. It will continue to be, for it has always been. And so it is.
And so it is. Amen. Lovely. Thank you
want
so
it
much.
now?
Sure, I'll tell that. I didn't give you your homework. And it's already written there, but yeah. So chapters 10 and 11, we're going to explore giving and tithing next week. Cool? Giving and tithing. It's good stuff. And the way that Butterworth expresses it is so life-giving. And an essay on all the ways you participate in the law of circulation in your life. Circulation. You know, like we talked about the tree growing. How do you circulate? How do you participate? Any way, every way. Have fun with it. It's a why you can drive a truck through that. Shopping at the grocery store. Cool? Do you tithe? Are you afraid of tithing? Where do you kind of land on that spectrum? Cool. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day and week. And so it is. That's right.